I love torturing him. I love how, like, based on the angling, it looks like I'm, like, looking down on you, little boy. Like, you're just down there. I gotta get to your level. So hold on, let me get down, and nope. There you go.
What's that, little boy?
Oh, you're not even facing the right way.
I know,
Dude.
damn it.
There you go.
Because it's...
Anyway, we are going to check out a They Live fan film called They Still Live. This is by Blinky500. We've checked out some of his stuff before. Makes a lot of fan films there. This was released like 5 years ago. It's got like almost 10,000 views on there.
They Still Live.
But yeah, we liked the original They Live film, didn't we?
No.
Yeah, no. Piece of shit, huh?
No, it's good.
Aliens and stuff, yeah.
It's like No Way Home. It's one of those where I'm like, I saw it and I never want to see it again. Not because it's bad, but because there's nothing deeper to get from it.
Yeah, it's like we see it once and I can take it in as it is. I can look back to it just by thinking about it. So it's like one of those, yeah, I got it. What we got? I have no idea what They Still Live will be like because I feel like it was pretty open and shut in the film. And this is one I wouldn't think would have any type of inspiration for a fan film. What do you think this might be before we start?
Oh, I have no idea, but there's two ways we could go about it. It could just be essentially rehashing the same premise, or it could be like, oh, actually using newer events to expound on the idea of elite other control of the masses, of manipulating people with politics, economy, whatever. A certain infection from an Asiatic area could be inspiration.
Because this is from 5 years ago.
No, I know that. But,
yeah, so
there's a movie with Nicole Kidman. I can't remember. I think it's The Others. And I watched a review, and it's like essentially it was like a sleeper, but now retroactively, like 15 years later, it's like it was so predictive of the dichotomy of those who agreed to experimental injections and those who did not.
Freeze, LAPD!
This is like right after the first film. Oh shit! Okay.
Don't make me shoot you, man.
Put the gun down. It's over.
You don't get it. You don't know what they're doing.
Just drop the gun and we can talk about it.
Put the glasses on. You'll see.
Put the gun down.
If you were a police officer, would you listen to him?
Well, we don't understand why he's being chased, so that really influences that question. I mean, clearly he's pulled a gun on him, so it must be violent or like a highly valued target as far as like a warrant or whatever, a felony.
Yeah, well, he was wanted in the other film, and then we don't necessarily see the conclusion.
Well, I don't know. Is this supposed to be the rowdy character still? Is that who this guy's playing?
The shirt is telling me that's who it is. Otherwise, I don't know. Because he's got the shirt and he has glasses on. So I'm assuming it's supposed to be our character. I don't know. Like, I'm trying to imagine being a cop. Like, put these on, sir. Put these on. Be like,
well, he saw his buddy wouldn't do it. He had to fight him for like 10 minutes.
Yes, which I love that fight scene. Big time. Love that. But yeah. But a cop, I feel like, yeah, it's just not going to happen.
Glasses on!
Why?
Because they still live.
Who?
Your mom.
Not you.
You all right?
What the hell?
He had a gun on you.
I had him.
It's going to be this guy is an alien, Broski, and then the other one isn't, I guess. Well, so I'm guessing this is after the broadcast, but if it is after the broadcast, then everybody would kind of know because that was like revealed.
Always say something.
We didn't have to shoot him.
Yeah, well, you're welcome, John.
Is that his blood that spells out "They Live" on the thing or graffiti?
Yeah, I don't know why there would be that graffiti.
Yeah, like that. Huh.
Go from index.
Which is 20.
930 Cortland Alley. We got him, sir.
Good work. I'll send a few units over now.
Send a bus, too.
Copy that.
Wait, also, why would you just say, like, I'm just thinking about it when he said, because they still live? I'd be like, Okay, you're starting with they.
That's why it's called
Do you
that.
do you mean that person that identifies as they? Do you mean they, you people?
Of course they do, you transphobe.
Like the last thing on my mind would be because the aliens disguised as humans are still around. Like I'd be like, I don't. It's not specific enough. Reminds me of like when the Flash is trying to tell Batfleck, like, it's too soon. Lois is the key. Just like, this is not useful information.
John, learn to take a fucking compliment already, will you?
I'll work on it. So,
So,
you want to tell me why that guy tried to kill you?
anti-establishment militia. That's all I got.
Okay, so I mean, as far as following the events of the first one, I guess that does follow enough, even if they had a broadcast that shared that there's aliens among us. How many people would believe it would be different, but I thought that like the shield that disguises them was down.
Oscar winners give a press conference and how to buy a sailboat as...
But I guess they have a backup, probably,
I'm not liking these reverse shot. It feels too quick.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like it should be a little bit more patient, so I let you simmer on, because like it feels too rehearsed between them with the way it's cutting.
Yeah,
and it doesn't feel like he's actually processing how to respond either way.
Why would I lie to you?
Apart from the fact you're a politician.
Yeah, okay, I can see what you mean with the just back and forth, back and
I wish
forth.
they would do like the bounty hunter poster.
Because like, yeah, I mean, it's like you could in between their dialogue and their like when they laugh, just cut away to like them both
center
laughing
shot
for a sec. So it's a break from their faces, and then come back to the conversation when they start speaking again or something.
Yeah, that and
Said
maybe have it like kind of pan out and take them in together. Well, it's like
they still live. That mean anything to you?
That has a new meaning today. They.
You tell me.
They. The they.
There we go. See, now we're getting a little like, let me simmer on this stalling.
Yeah.
Good seeing you, Jimmy.
You too, John. Good luck.
Yeah, the second half of that conversation was a lot better. The way that went through. I don't have much comment on that scene. Just we're getting.
You busted.
That's not my intention.
The end of time are not coming, my brothers and sisters.
He's preaching in the middle of the night to nobody.
Who are they? The ones pulling your strings, Detective Neiman.
You can't answer that on YouTube.
So you're probably laughing for different reasons than I am. So I'll do mine first, then you go. This is the middle of the night, and he's just like on the sidewalk, like no one's around. I'm gonna do my speech of some kind about this, and I don't care if no one hears it. And then one cop comes around as if it's planned. Yes, and now tranquilizer gun, boom. I don't know. I think that's funny. What are you?
Yeah. Well, I'm laughing because anyone with the brain know why I laugh at. They are pulling the strings, you know. You can view that multiple ways, but there is like definitely a meme you could understand of they. But also, it's funny because watching the film fresh, last year?
Yeah,
it was like, oh my god, it's funny because they're all getting educated and awakened to reality by an Alex Jones type character on the TV going against the mainstream. And then you read about the film, and it was essentially propaganda by Carpenter to critique Reaganomics, the Reagan era. It was very anti-Republican at the time, and how it aged. It's like how everything's kind of flip-flopped. Yeah. You know, the right was establishment, the left was for the common folk, and now it's completely inverted to some degree. Like it's all purple, but you know, like that. Yeah. That is funny. And then the setting of like, instead of just a crazy guy being like, they're controlling us, and then like, oh, people start coming, and then he starts talking to them a sermon.
Yeah.
Beyond the the slogan of just, you know, and the fact he's so clean cut, both like his facial hair is pretty well trimmed, his hair is trimmed, nice priest or pastor suit instead of being like a hobo that looks crazy. Like that would make it, that would be my critique, is like I wouldn't have him just enunciating a whole speech to no one. I would have him saying slogan with maybe a billboard or something, and have him look more decrepit, like a homeless person. So it's like, oh, here's a crazy guy, you know. But then he's educating the guy who comes up to him. That's the my critique. It's just like, it's not necessarily what he's saying, it's just how he's delivering it.
Well, I mean, I think that's okay-ish. Like, if he's not decrepit homeless, like that means that they said it's a rising movement. I mean, that could be some religious figures that, you know that too. Maybe there's always aliens and religion are tied together. Angus, don't you know this?
You knew my name.
Yeah,
that's enough questions.
One too many.
What the hell is going on?
One of your gunmen killed one of our own in the process.
Oh, so what is this? An eye for an eye?
Not quite.
Okay, so that guy could have totally not been our main character from before. He was just, I just associate the flannel with the other guy, so that could have been one of these people anyway. So retracted.
Eddie was a good man, and his sacrifice will not be forgotten.
The guy's name Eddie, and the other one, I don't think
there's strength in numbers.
Maybe though.
What does that mean?
I'm saying it's time for you to wake up, detective.
Oh, I'm already awake, lady.
I'm sure you are. The entire world woke up once, but only briefly. They tried to take away our memories, but you can't erase something like that. So they changed it.
The probes.
Twisted it into something dismissible. A movie. You've probably seen it. And just like that, everyone went back to sleep.
You're not making any sense.
See, Angus, The Matrix, They Live, all these movies that they do are just ways to keep us from not seeing the truth.
I feel like allowing movies like that to make you question reality and who's in control and what are they feeding you to keep you complacent would be counterintuitive.
See, I would think so too, but I'm not sure, because like even in those films, like sometimes they have it be where it's like, we want people to think of this so that it can be squashed. Like you give them that sense of fight, so then they are distracted with this, and then they're still ultimately trapped or something. Like,
no, I agree with controlled opposition. I mean, it's very obvious through the years, especially the last 100 years of modern society, lots of controlled opposition. But it seems pointless if you're already in control and there's no one really piercing.
Right. Yeah. No, I get that. Yeah. But it's like, but I could see this as like, for the people that want to be rebels or something, it's like, oh, well, we'll turn your point into an entertainment movie and then just make money off that. And then your point can just be like, oh, you're just trying to be like in that movie or something. Like, I can see that being effective here or there if they had that, I guess, especially in the context of They Live, I guess. He puts them on and is like, oh my God, the sun isn't as bright as I thought it was. Like now my world has changed. Everything's not as bright. What?
Everything's appropriately dimmed.
Now my heart's trained.
Wait. Pause it. Going off of that would be funny if this was like a fake They Live.
Right.
And it's like, actually, the big conspiracy, it'd be like South Park with the toilet paper episode.
Right.
It's like, this has just been a big conspiracy to make you get, they want the sun to damage your eyes, so you have to go to the optometrist and get prescriptions every 5 years.
Right. And they want you to get sunglasses. They want you, it's all for the eye companies or something. The eye departments want you.
They're controlling us.
You constantly do this. What? You look with your eyes. You see with your eyes. So what if we can put things in front of your eyes and in your eyes? It's a perfect plan. We control you that way.
You're like, wait a minute. I thought this was going to be about They Live, not optometry. Oh,
turns out the alien conspiracy is a government conspiracy.
Oh, hey, buddy. Watch where you're going.
Jesus Christ, what are you?
Excuse me?
What are you?
I'm on 10th and Broadway. Send assistance now.
I feel like it'd be funny if there were aliens nowadays. Like they could just be like, "How dare you? You know what? Because I'm gay or something." Like they could just say, like they could just hide. They could just use the gender thing. Like, you know, it was a lot harder for us to hide ourselves. But like if the aliens were giving like a documentary stuff back in the day, it was a lot more difficult to hide ourselves from the public. But now, thanks to all the gender stuff and identity things, this is a piece of cake. We just, you know, ride on one of those things. You accusing me of being what I'm not? I'm the Zers is the name of the species. You see,
this guy just misgendered me. Get him.
It's just like all the 1,000 of genders is all different alien species or something that are there that they identify as or whatever. It's just like, okay, that'd be funny.
He can see.
But don't do that.
You're one of them.
You don't, son of a bitch.
It's feel like
No, I would have loved like they're doing good because it's like they're answering like what would be obvious, but I would have loved it if it was maybe a purposeful like, wait, how'd you find me? It's like and then they just cut and it's like the next scene.
Right. They're having a drink or something, and it's like, wait a second. So how did you find me? You don't need to. Anyway, just like cut to them on the couch or something. They're just like, wait, why do we keep on skipping the scene where you tell? It goes to the next thing or something.
Wait. Yeah, they're having drinks, having a good time. And they're like, wait, you never answered.
He's got a room of women on him trying to distract him from the question again.
I'm a cowboy, John, and you're nothing more than cattle. So you have a decision to make. You want to be a cowboy with me? Or do you want to be steak?
Random thought, and you're Angus, of course, so like it makes me want to see like a movie where a cowboy is riding with his cow and stuff, but he's like, you know, whipping it here and there or something, and then one day the cow just had one straw too many and you know, punches the cowboy in the face and starts a cow revolution against the cowboys. And I don't know.
I've about had it.
Like, time to make the cowboys the cows. They
I'm a person, and my name is Angus.
All right.
Partners, remember? This isn't a bad little fight, but I'd prefer less cutting. But otherwise, yeah.
Yeah, no. Otherwise, it's
coming off
pretty
fine.
good.
Otherwise, I kind of like that. Yeah, it's doing all right.
It feels pretty weighty.
Looks like you're not my problem anymore.
You would think it's like, so just because they're alien, does that mean all of them are trying to kill everybody, or are some not able to be, you know, pals with you still? You know, the guy you smoking weed with for all these years, still that alien dude, you know?
All they want is a healthy partnership. In a perfect world, they would have just come here and said, I come in peace, and we would have all gotten along. But not everybody can handle that. Knowing you're not alone in the universe can destroy some of the more weak-minded. So, they treat it like a club. Those they deem fit get inducted in. And if you play ball, they reward you. And John, the rewards? Here's the moment of truth. Come with me. Leave all of this behind and let's make America great.
America is great. It's just a couple of assholes that think they know better than everybody else.
Oh, America great. Is this a Trump thing? No.
Oh, just like Carpenter.
I think, see, I don't think that it is, but this is around the time frame Trump was president. So it could have been, you know, to make America great. He's one of them.
To let anybody fuck that up.
But I feel like regardless of Trump, that line fits well enough with what he's already talking about. So that's totally fine.
Is that a no?
Fuck you, Jimmy. It's time to wake up.
Joke's on you. I've been tased so many times that they don't affect me anymore. So worthless. All right. And maybe that's what happens. What'd you think of that one there?
All right.
Angus. Yeah, it was all right. better than I was thinking of, I guess.
No, I liked it.
So,
it was just,
yeah.
I felt like the ending was underwhelming. Like, wait, that's it?
yeah, I kind of that has like sequel baitiness to it, but you know, I don't think he made a sequel to this one, but he might have. I just haven't really looked, I haven't browsed well enough on the channel yet for that. But let me see his description section, because he does. Oh yeah, he tends to have a lot on here. I gotta get my glasses, though. I won't be able to read shit. Hold on.
Oh, so you can see the truth?
Yes. I like how I pointed my pointer finger at you. That means nothing. It's like a fist or a middle finger. It's pointer finger. Oh, you.
Oh,
yep.
Oh, Han Solo.
Yeah, you. They Still Live is a bit of a passion project. Anybody who knows me knows I'm a huge fan of John Carpenter. Everything from his style to his stories, I just can't get enough of it. I always wanted to do a They Live fan film, but I can never quite settle on an idea. I don't blame you there, dude. That is still very recently when I was watching a retrospective on a channel I subscribed to called The Renegade Cut. I have heard of that channel. I highly recommend checking them out. I love film and analyzations done right. Anywho, after the how do you pronounce that? Analyzation or analyzation? Yeah. Okay, so I'm like, the way I'm like, that does not sound right to me, but analyzation for They Live, and how many people have completely misinterpreted its meaning and used it to further their own agendas. Well, when arguing on the internet, it hit me. If they were real, this is what they would want. People bickering and fighting, staying distracted, aka asleep. Yeah, see, that's kind of what I was going with. Like, they like having the scenario where they have something to fight for, so that there's like a constant civil war, essentially, of some kind, a constant pointing fingers of whatever. So it's not just, hey, no, nothing to worry about at all. Because when you say there's nothing to worry about too much, then there's something to worry about. So, hey, all right, here's something to worry about. But, you know, it's only those few crazies that do it. So y'all can be back and forth with each other. That makes sense. But he says, so this idea was born that they were never defeated, that they still remain our overlords, but I did not want to neglect the events of the original film. So in my sequel, the events of the original film are real, but they are remembered to us as nothing more than a movie. I didn't want to completely retrace the steps of the original film. Good. So I decided to hit the ground running with an assassination attempt followed by a detective's story, having a cop searching for answers. Initially working for the wrong side shakes things up a lot better than just having another random dude stumble onto something bigger than himself. True. The film was shot around Long Beach over the course of several days. Unfortunately made a horror rookie mistake. I'm rookie. Which I will never forgive myself for, and botched my audio levels when recording all the scenes in the alley. Okay. Because of that, there is an excessive amount of dubbing in this film when there clearly shouldn't have been. The effects for this were all done via Photoshop and matte editing, or matte. Do you call it matte or
matte?
Matte, yeah. Matte editing. It's the same process they did back in the day, but digitally. My only regret is that the movie, apart from the audio, is the makeup on the aliens. I really wish I had the budget to get a legit mask or hire a VFX artist to create something really cool, but that is the way of fan films. Gotta do with what you have. I like that he puts this in the descriptions, because after I watch a lot of these fan films, I want to know what the hell was on their mind when they made the fan films. And so I'm glad that he has this down here. It really puts it in context frame for us, so we can look at that back a little bit better. And yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I disagree with scroll down.
Oh, sure.
I really disagree with the analyzation part. People misinterpreting it. This is art. There is an intent by the creator, and then there is how people receive it. You know,
right?
Being 40 years later, I watch and go, wow, these people are being woken up by an Alex Jones character. It's funny because I've read about the intent by James Carpenter, and yet it lives beyond that intent. And so I think both sides, if you're on right, left in America, can use this film to as an example to explain their points about the hierarchy of elites and various social cogs attempting to manipulate the masses for their own gain, whatever that is. So yeah,
we kind of have a modern comparison to that with Barbie, where it's like, you know, the intent of the filmmakers might have had one direction entirely, but it can be taken completely differently and make the film kind of better with what's in the film,
depending on what you think's better. Yeah. Or you can just be like, oh, it's great how it is. Or you have people like Ben Shapiro did his review. It's totally stick in the mud about anything fun about it. I think obviously lying about enjoyability. There's just obvious enjoyable little. It's a toy. It's a more adult Toy Story concept. So like, how can you not find that amusing? Or even if you're bemoaning what you think is legitimate criticism of patriarchy, how can you not laugh at the juvenile understanding of Ken? Like, that's funny.
Exactly. Well, and I mean, and even The Last Jedi, as horrible as that stuff is, I mean, there's clear the divide itself makes it clear that, you know, whatever the intent, there's people see it one way, other people see it another way. So yeah, no direct way. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, though, I mean, I kind of like how he went about this with that.
I like what he did.
I think it was my mistake in the beginning to assume that was the same character, but it's been a year since I've seen it, so I kind of forgot what he looked like. Other than the shirt was the main giveaway, and then he's like, "They still live." It's like, okay, is that supposed to be that guy? But no, it's kind of made clear that it's just a different guy in their movement. So, and they've established they had a movement in the first place in the first film, so that's all good.
Yeah, I like that they make a clear point about sort of like the film ends alluding to like, oh, people are going to wake up to these aliens controlling them. But to make a sequel, you kind of got to retcon that.
Yeah, because they showed people like an alien in a bar, and then everybody's like, "Oh my god!" and like aliens in different locations are being like found. But it doesn't mean that all of them will necessarily be found, and that everybody will see them, and that everybody's going to believe it. So, yeah, just that alone, they could easily, like I said, they can easily put up a new thing, a new device. I mean, it wouldn't be absurd if they had a backup device. If anything, like, okay, just got to ship it down. It'll take a day, and then we'll try to make it go back to normal. Cool. So yeah.
I don't really have anything else to say about it. I liked it.
I don't really have much to add either. I'll give him extra props though on actually making the fan film, because it sounds like he said he struggled on an idea for it. Like I get that, where like you love a movie and it gives you ideas and concepts, but then it's like, okay, but like how is that actually going to be like a movie now? Like how can I make a sequence of events, characters to follow in that universe? And like,
it's a film that
it's tough.
It's a film that
sometimes
more or less doesn't need a sequel. It's very just it's a contained conclusion.
Yeah.
So I feel like he worked enough for a 15-minute thing to set up a sequel idea. Like it's
yeah, and I like that overall.
I would never expect someone to actually make a fan film of They Live.
Yeah, again, that's why I picked it, because I'm like, I was just browsing his channel for unique ones that stood out, and I was like, They Live one, bro, that's Angus and me. We gotta watch that.
So. Yeah, unless it was a prequel to try to explain how this started, I wouldn't see a point of a
like from the point of view of the alien, like an alien character, maybe like from their perspective would be my approach, maybe. But
yeah, maybe you could do like a Palpatine angle, where it's like. I've brought, or Anakin, where he says like, I've brought peace and prosperity, you know, to the
or you could show that there are some aliens in their division that are more sympathetic with people, or the aliens that want to just chill with the humans and smoke weed and shit, and there's the ones that want to have the control over everyone and power. But it's like some are like, I kind of want to be asleep with the humans. Like that's kind of fun. Like something like that.
I would think
discourse there.
I would think an elevated species, at best, like I don't think you would get like a Planet of the Apes idea where the chimps are like protesting like the war.
Right. There'd be more of a unified concept.
Yeah, I think it'd be
overall,
more
probably.
unified, but I think you'd have degrees of like, all right, there'd be a class structure. Like, all right, these are the ones in control the hierarchy, and then the average alien is just like, I just want to do my job, keep the matrix going, and then clock out and sedate myself.
yeah. So that's what I mean. Where like his friend, like if his friend alien was like, dude, like okay, like I'm with them and all, but like I really don't want to kill you because even though I'm an alien, like I'm still like a friend, like something like that. Where it's like okay, like if push comes to shove, he'd rather not kill him or something. Like really rather not do that.
Omni-Man and his wife, something like that, where it's like,
yeah,
no, I'm going to like, I'm here for a reason, and you're just like a fun pet ultimately, but like I'm not here to try to ruin your day, even though you're kind of insignificant to me.
Yeah, I'm gonna outlive you probably. You can still have the rest of your life, or if the more you push into this, whether I stop you or not, you're gonna be getting fucked with. So
yeah,
looking out
again,
for
these examples,
like cool.
These examples exactly like I was trying to explain to you years ago. Of like, well, like what do I need to see to be a better reviewer? Or like, what does that matter? Like, well, now you're seeing it, you know, going through the stuff where it's like, oh, I can reference this and see like, well, here's the same umbrella concept, and this is like part of the cognizance of making the project aware of something that addresses this. What was its shortcomings, or where did it accelerate?
Yeah, it is helping. It is helping. But that's all for this one. And yeah, we'll probably check out more Blinky videos here and there. I always try to pick a couple here and there for fan film watches. So we'll see you later.